Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Agent Psycho, and unfortunately, this commentary is going to be a little bit more on the rantier side of things because, well, I'll explain in a little bit here, but just bear in mind that, sometimes I do like to make rant-style comments, or commentaries, not just comments, of course. So just keep that in mind if you're not too big of a fan of commentaries in general, or me sounding like a pissed off salty 12-year-old kid, then you don't need to hear this video, or you don't need to watch this video. But for everyone else who's interested, then stick around. Try not to be too angry at me. Please forgive. Don't be too salty at me too. But anyways, so what I want to talk about today was let me just close my window here. You guys can probably hear that. So what I wanted to talk about today was why people say GG at the end of a game. It doesn't matter what game you're playing, as long as you're playing a multiplayer game, because if you're playing a single-player game, you type in GG if you even can, that'd be kind of weird. So, in most multiplayer games, people who are polite, or I wouldn't say polite, but people who are willing type in GG, and to signify that they've may or may not have enjoyed the game that they were playing. Most of the time they have. Sometimes they just type GG sarcastically and no one will notice. But the reason why I want to make a commentary about that is because recently I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty. I'm really big on prestiging. I remember back in Black Ops 2, I prestige a lot, or I prestige all the way up to Prestige Master, and I kind of want to do the same with Advanced Warfare. Unfortunately, there really isn't a lot of people on Advanced Warfare anymore, not at least not for PC, because it seems like the general consensus of the PC crowd is that Advanced Warfare on PC sucks, which is why, hence, there's not really many people playing it. Not at least not on the West Coast. Maybe on the East Coast, it's a little bit of a different story. But in any case, so I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty because I like it and it's fun. But after a while, because I like to think that I have really shit luck, I lose a lot. And typically speaking, I lose a lot to people who either in Advanced Warfare anyway have like really OP guns like the Battle Obsidian Steed, the Battle Inferno, the fucking ASM-1 Speakies, which I just only got like yesterday, and other things like that. And other people just pulling off very dickish strategies in Call of Duty. We all know how to be an asshole in Call of Duty. In Modern Warfare 2, it was one-man army noob tubes. In Modern Warfare 3, it was just running around with the MP7. If you used the MP7 at all in any shape or form, you were automatically an asshole. In Black Ops 2, I don't know. Shotguns, maybe people. I personally didn't think that there was any one gun in particular that people got pissed. That pissed people off like a lot. I would say the shotgun, but I didn't mind the shotguns too much. I use the shotgun all the time myself, so maybe that's why. But in any case, Advanced Warfare, you've got your BALs, you got your ASM-1s. Those are okay. Those I don't mind because if they're assault rifles and submachine guns, even if they are better than the rest, you still have to have a little bit of skill to use them. But things like the fucking S12, the Whirlwind, I think it is, that has like an insane amount of ammo. People just running around with gung ho shotguns and just spray them all over the fucking place. What else? SAC 3s I can deal with. I use them sometimes too myself. They're not too bad. But I guess the main thing for me is the S12, and they're just plain fucking annoying. So yeah, that and I feel like in Advanced Warfare, this Advanced Warfare is the first Call of Duty game that I've actually played and visibly noticed that host makes a huge fucking difference. Maybe it's because Advanced Warfare isn't really populated on PC anymore, so the matchmaking, the matchmaking algorithm has to pull in people from like all over the country, so connection isn't going to be very good as a result. Maybe it's because of that, but my connection usually is pretty shit. Unless I'm the host, then if that's the case, then I just turn into a fucking god. Like, who doesn't, if you're semi-decent at the game? But most of the time, obviously, that's not the case. So, I tend to get really salty a lot. I don't really type it because I usually don't type to other people on Call of Duty because that's just weird. Or it's not weird per se, but I don't do it. It's not my thing. And where was I going with this? So yeah, at the end of a lot of games, I've noticed that people tend to say GG a lot, and I'm pretty sure this is not a coincidence, but almost all the games I lose, the people on the other team say GG and and sometimes start talking shit. They don't do that all the time, but sometimes they do. And whenever my team wins, my team doesn't talk any shit at all, or we never say GG. So I don't really know what the deal with that is, but it is what it is. I'm not trying to make anything up here, but I'm just trying to say it as it is. But yeah, it's just whenever I see people on the other team who win say GG. If it was a close game, if I'm not feeling too salty, then then it doesn't really bother me too much. But after like maybe an hour or two of constant losing and constantly being matched up with the same shit team over and over again, because yeah, you might say that, oh, you know, if you're complaining about shit teams, just leave the game after you finish a game and go back into the same playlist to see if you can get another lobby. Yeah, I would do that, but the thing is, now that Advanced Warfare is not very populated anymore, more like 9 times, or I would say 8 times out of 10, it'll stick me back in the same lobby because it has no other lobby to stick me into. So yeah, and so much for that. So yeah, so after 1 or 2 hours of constantly losing and slowly accumulating the salt, yeah, when people who start saying, you know, I start getting annoyed by people who say GG and they're the other team. And I've always kind of wondered why this was, because it's always been the kind of thing that I was angered by. You know, Combat Arms, Call of Duty, what else? Dirty Bomb recently. Well, Dirty Bomb doesn't really bother me too much because that's just a different game. But typically speaking, whenever people say GG and they're on the other team and they beat me, it's always kind of bothered me a little bit inside. You know, I'm holding on to that salt for whatever reason. I've always thought about, you know, why is that? And I just think that it's because, you know what? Fuck it. I don't know. I'm not going to try to pretend that I know, because the best guess that I have about that, like why I get so annoyed, like it's just a harmless GG. It's not like most people anyway. Most people who say GG and they win say it because they won. You know, common sense states that, you know, you're not going to say good game when you lost. Well, if you're an actual decent human being, then yeah, you would. But most people, because they're selfish and fucking video gamers are amongst the worst people on the internet anyway, generally speaking. I'm being very pessimistic, yes, I know. You don't need to remind me. You know, most people would just say GG only when they win and not when they lose. You know, in my opinion, you know, when you say GG, you should say GG after every single game, because you're having fun. You know, video games are meant to. You play video games because you're meant to have fun with them. So therefore, by that logic, you should say GG after every single game, because whether or not you win or lose, you're still having fun. So therefore, it's a good game. Obviously, there's a lot of things that you could say against that, but let's just roll with that for now. So, that being said, with that mentality in mind, that's why I really don't like people saying GG, because the instant they lose, the people who say, okay, so let's say I beat a team who typed in GG last game, or the previous game, and they said GG, you know, that previous game, and we beat them the next game. They won't say anything at all. Either they won't say anything at all, or they're gonna get salty themselves and whine and bitch over general chat, or maybe even leave to go try to see if they can, you know, pub stomp another lobby. You know, those kinds of people. I guess that's the main reason why I don't really have respect for people who say GG, because I feel like it's half-hearted. You know, most of the time people who say GG, they just say it half-heartedly, or they say it because, you know, you know, they've got the good going, or how should I say this? You know, they're on a good roll. You know, good things are happening to them. So it's kind of like how, you know, should I use this example? Nah, I won't. I won't bother with it. Anyways, so people say GG because they win, and they never say it because they lose. If you catch my drift. So yeah, it's just that those kinds of things, that kind of thing, really really bothers me, and because most of the time they're not going to say GG if they lose. Who does that? Maybe the best of us gamers out there will say GG no matter no matter if they if they win or lose. That's part of the reason. This is part of the reason why I never really say anything at the end of games. Like I don't say good game or bad game unless it's like a like a scrim for like a competitive match or something like that. I don't really say. I don't really take the time to say GG or bad game because I know I'm not gonna say GG when I lose, so I may as well just not even say it at all. That, and I feel like people who type in GG after they win, I feel like they're trying to assert some sort of dominance, like, oh yeah, good game, suckers, like it's a good game, fucking losers, something like that. I don't know. That's, I guess you could say that's just the salty part of me coming out there, but that's just something that I wanted to kind of go over and talk about because it's always bothered me, and I just wanted to get I just want to see what everyone else's opinion on this is. But yeah, it's not really too much of a big deal. It's not something that should bother me, I know, but it sometimes does, and I don't know. I guess I wanted to share it a little bit. So, anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening to my little rant here, and we will see you guys later.